Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour Reading Show. Host Kelly Brickle is a psychic medium, numerologist, healer, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there is always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour Reading Show, Kelly Brickle.
Hello. How is everybody today? It is a lovely Wednesday. We're going into the middle of the week. I'm Kelly Brickle, and this is the Psychic Hour, and we are going into the reading show. So we're going to be talking for a little bit, and then we will go into readings. Hello, Courtney. Hello, Gretchen. Hello, everybody. Welcome. And as everybody comes on in, hello, Catherine. Hi. Pop down and say hi. You can let me know where you're from. And also, this is a show where we take questions about energy, psychic mediumship, your own experiences, as well as we get into readings too as well. So please, if you have an energy experience, let's talk about it. Hello. Thank you everyone for being here today. So the topic of the day to open up some of the discussion is about energy accumulation, right? Hello. Oh, that's really cool. Hello, Elliot from Lake Forest. That's where the region of I'm from. So hello, very cool. As we go through life, as we go from every single stage you can imagine, we accumulate energy. Okay, even within our work, even within our experiences with friends, we are accumulating energy. And I like to make this example connected to being healers or even psychic mediums, because you can imagine, I think, that subject. When we are doing readings, we're taking on energy. When we are doing healings, we're connecting and we're moving energy through us. Well, naturally, if we're in a state of flow ourselves, which we're encouraging with another person with the help of something greater than ourselves, we let go of the energy once we're done. And that's the healthiest state, to be in flow and to learn and to accumulate, but to actually not to gather or to let the load of that emotion stay with us, or let the load of the trauma stay with us. We have the understanding of the energy imprint, but it doesn't restrict or have heaviness within us. But we're human, and so there's certain things that we carry because we're used to carrying it. You could pick up someone's energy and you're used to, within your own energy dynamics, operating from that way and not letting it go. You could, be very deeply affected by something, even on a personal level, and you're going to hold on to it. And so we're always trying to flush energy and release energy. And it's really important to have movement and flow. Now, within our own life, and this is, I think, important, not just from, an energy perspective as a healer, psychic medium, but if you're on the planet for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, you have a higher energy accumulation load of memories, of thoughts, of experiences, of just your possessions, depending, some people have really gone through their stuff, but you can just imagine a 60-year-old owns much more than a 20-year-old would. And so how much energy management have you gone through within those years? Over that 40-year difference from a 20-year-old to a 60-year-old, how much have you let go, released on an emotional level, mental level, and also physical level? What's in your house? what's in your house, because that is an energy load that you're responsible for, even if it's in like the recesses of your mind. Your brain, your energy is responsible for that, even if you rarely ever think of that, or if you think you've forgotten it, your energy hasn't. Okay, so we constantly have to really be responsible for our space and go, what is here, what's surfacing? And that's sometimes why during meditation people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I thought about that, I haven't thought about that for 60 years. Well, it's in your space, your internal space, and in the space of your environment. It's sitting in an object in front of you. It's sitting in an object that is put away in a drawer in your closet, or under something in your, your kitchen papers, that you stuffed in a drawer somewhere. You're reacting to energy because it's real, it's true, it's there, and it hasn't been managed. And so it longs for alignment. We long for alignment. It is healthy for us. So what I want to say before I kind of go into just like talking a little bit with the comments and then into readings is really be aware of going through things every once in a while and just saying, hey, is this within my energy currently now? Or is this within the past? And what do I think about these past things that I want to carry with me? There's sentimental objects, sure. There's things that are just important to us, but they have to be attached to, who we are in the current as well. So we're not just holding on to the past for the past's sake, or we're not accumulating so much that our consciousness and our energy will be stressed out, because we're supposed to be light. We're supposed to be free. We're not supposed to hang on to too much stuff. Granted, if 6 people live in your house, that's 6 different energy loads. And they're responsible each for in their own way as they grow and progress. But if there's just 1 or 2 people within your house and you find yourself stressed or cluttered or overwhelmed, really look at what's around you externally and internally, what you bring to the table. Because I promise you, when we're not at peace and we find ourselves stressed out, or even if we are at peace and we find ourselves stressed out, it's because we're taking on too much energy. And it is not like, oh, well, I canceled my plans. I've just been watching Netflix. I've been trying to have a good life. I've just, been going out to lunch. That's not stressful. That's not stressful. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've minimized what you're doing. It's just what is around you and what is inside of you. Because you're constantly doing that over and over and over on a subconscious level. And you have to visit that as well as the conscious level. Okay. So hello, everybody. Hello, Leo. Oh, man, it's so great to see you, Leo. I give you so much love. I miss you, Leo. Hopefully you are around sometime so I can say hello. Hello. I'm giving you so much love. Hello, Maylin, Carol, Aspen. Hey, Aspen. Hello. Debbie, shout out to Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. What's up? Let's see some comments. Sometimes we have to sit back and understand each person's point of view. Oh, that's additional accumulation loads. That's definitely additional, because we have to make sure we're constantly cleaning our space so we're not too entangled by other people's energies. But we need to have a growth and development and understanding of other people too as well. So there's a time where we go to other people's energy. There's a time where we look to a deeper understanding, or a more holistic understanding too. But yes, when it comes to clean our energy and accumulation, sometimes we have to make sure that people and their point of views aren't necessarily so in the forefront, because we can't control those things. We can go into the vein of, I want to learn about their perspective. I want to honor their perspective. I want to be multifaceted in my understanding. but we have to just check where energy is to keep it simple and clean. Simple and clean. Hello, Jesse. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Angela. Hello. Cool. We're gonna go into readings, everybody, in just a little bit, so hold tight. Courtney says, I always have ideas, and she tells me that sounds like work to me, Courtney. We have to manage our energy. We have to stay within our own energy. Okay, so everybody, we're going to open up the space for readings in just a second. So pop down if you're open to a reading. We're going to be doing psychic readings. So I'm just going to be tuning into your energy, to what I see and feel and sense, as well as I'm going to be pulling some cards. And if you want, give me your birth dates to pull some numerology too. That's how I tap into the energy most naturally for myself. And yes, we have to be in our own energy. We have to be in our own energy. When we are cleaning and clearing, we have to be. But a lot of times, this work is all about empathy and understanding others and healing and peace. And that is great when you're ready to work. When you're ready to work, when you're ready to help, when you're ready to say, aha, I feel good enough to go and share, that's when some of the best energy mixes happen. But when we are not in a place, and many of us want a break, many of us want just hey, I did a lot today already. That's when we have to make sure, excuse me, that's when we have to make sure that people, places, things in the past are getting managed. It's okay if someone's in your energy, but it shouldn't be always. It shouldn't be always. Okay. And like if loved ones are around, that's fine, but they're not always in your energy. They're like, that's why I want to like give to you with the understanding, like our loved ones are guides. They don't always have to be around. Our guides from birth can be around and are consciously aware of us. Yes. Because it's their duty to connect their energy to ours. But with like our loved ones, it's their duty to live and experience their own lives too. And they will always visit us from the spirit world, but they're not constantly visiting us because they're visiting other people and they're doing other things on the other side. They're getting maybe even ready for another lifetime. So people are in their own energy naturally. It's healthy. It's very healthy. Okay. Okay. So let's go into it. I'm going to say hello to everybody. Hello, Jennifer. It's great to see you. Hello, Samantha. Hello, Jesse again. Hello, Carol. Hello. All right, let's go into it. So I'm going to go to Carol first. Then I'm going to jump around. It seems, forgive me, it seems my voice is a little raspy all of a sudden. And Carol, if you have a question or anything, let me know. If not, no worries. I'm just going to take from the energy of your birthday. That is plenty for me. Okay, you are in attitude 7, personal day 3, and you're a life path of 3, I believe, too. Let's just double check that. Yep, that's right. Yep, that's right. So you're in a cycle of 6. And just bear with me, everyone. My voice is cutting out. Okay, Kara. So you being an attitude of 7, this always lets me know, especially when I see the personal day 3 with it that you have, is like you have people come up to you naturally. And so there's a degree of like people like are open to you. They respond well to your energy. Okay. So on one hand, people expect you to be social and you are, but with that 7, like you're very observant and you more so are a listener or prefer to be. than talking, because you don't prefer to show all your cards. You'll kind of like size people up. You love to engage with people, but you're not always going to be presenting, what's going on within you, unless you really, really trust a person. And you're very selective with that. And thank you for understanding that. So that like intensity is ramped up because you have that 3 on first impression, which is really otherwise with that 7. So it's important to just always make sure that you find the right people to share and divulge what's in your heart. And don't be afraid to take your time with that. People sometimes who do know you might from time to time want more from you. And actually, it's okay if that person is very trustworthy. I encourage you to take your time, but I encourage you to take a leap of faith with the good ones. Okay? You are in a cycle of 6. And so this is an important time. It always represents family and friends, that you start understanding what's really important to you, with what you want with the people around you, and being a little bit more responsible for how you are articulating your needs. You don't always share your needs. You know your needs, but you don't always share it. And sometimes even when you think you do, it's not as clear. So again, it's saying, like, with the people around you that you are connected to, that need to know, it's important for you to go a little bit deeper and to see who's really there for you, because this is going to shape this year and next year into how often you want to spend time with people, where you are at up to date with like more intimacy with the people around you. And I keep going to like friends from the past that have been in your life for a long time. And I don't feel like you would get rid of them, but it's kind of like, I need to have a different kind of way that I keep up with you this year, because I'm not going to take it personally that they're kind of doing their own thing and things are going different. And oh, thank you for understanding this. And, I need to do some things differently too. Okay. So it's kind of just like making peace with things, but not like axing anyone out. It's just like, it's a time for just rest and pause in some areas and to generate new energy in other areas. Okay. So it's also really important when you're in a cycle of 6, which you are this year, to make sure that you are connected to your emotions more, because you will find, like, physically, if you feel off, like you could have like a stomach ache or feel like a little bit dizzy on certain days. An interesting thing is that it usually is connected to or was preceded prior with an emotional state. Okay. So 6 always goes, I have this gut feeling of something's a little awry, something's a little off. And when we find ourselves not listening to that with like increased sensitivity, we find that then our health gets a little bit wobbly. Okay. So be extra, yeah, take more seriousness to your emotional. Yeah, thank you for understanding that. Take extra seriousness with how that you are feeling with your intuition, and also extra seriousness with how that correlates to your body. Okay, because what happens is your nervous system is really, really um extra like an antenna at this time. And so 2 years from now, the body is actually going to want a lot more security. The body is going to want to make sure that it has what it needs. And it's funny because, okay, so that's a cycle 8 for you. But in a cycle 6, there's always warnings that go off that say, hey, we can avoid this. Hey, we can avoid this. Hey, it doesn't have to be this way. So really, really pay in touch with your emotions and emotional needs. Make sure you're getting supported and do things that you have not been doing. And I don't, all of a sudden I see like the ocean or a lake It's probably a lake. I'm not sure though. And I see like sailing, like a boat, and I feel like I've been wanting to travel on the lake or the ocean. I don't know which one it is with bodies of water sometimes, but I'm seeing this lake and I'm seeing like, the clouds and the sky, and it's just like, get out and do things that relax you and make you happy. Like, be really responsible for how you're emotionally resetting and what you need to do for you as you're limiting what doesn't quite work this year, because you're already limiting, and lean into that, but now do more too as well, so you can replenish yourself. So I hope that makes sense, Carol. Yes, you've been finding it hard to get out the door. That happens sometimes. It really happens sometimes. And so make it a task to love yourself in a way where you're like, I'm going to give myself this, because it is more valuable than, buying a shirt or buying a new pair of pants or buying, a new this or that. Because you feel like, yes, I have to do this for myself. This is very important that you get outside and that you're in nature. And there's something about the wind and the water and again, sails. Let yourself be free. And if it doesn't allow you to do that every day, like, treat yourself for doing it when you do it. And celebrate it because it wasn't easy. Celebrate that you're changing, and celebrate that the new change is doing more good things for yourself, despite thinking sometimes, or I don't absolutely have to do this. Well, you're only here once as Carol. You're only here once as Carol for so long. So enjoy what's around you. Enjoy the nature and the sights and everything, and have it lift you up, so you can be so thankful for saying, I lived and I let myself do that, because the way that I've been taught has been so strict and has been so serving of others, of how I get outside the house, that, for me to heal, sometimes I stay within the house because I've done so much for others. And know that you can give both, because the highest, like, the form of ease and happiness is if you're able to go outside when others need you, sure, but also to go outside when you need you. Okay, so I would say, make that a task and reward yourself. Reward yourself with something lovely for doing it, to make sure you go, yes, this feels good. This feels good. This is for me. Okay. Totally makes sense. I'm glad you can understand that. And thank you, Carol. Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to go to, I'm going to go to Anne, and then who else was here? Where was this? I'm going to go Elliot after Anne, if Elliot is still here. So, Anne, hi, Anne. Let's see here. Yes, you can have a reading. Absolutely. And Anne, okay, here's your question. Thank you. Anne, is there a future together ahead for me and Mike, please? Is there a commitment coming, like an engagement or marriage for us? And thank you, Elliot. I'm going to go to you next afterwards. Okay, Anne, let me get into the energy of that. Okay, is there a future together ahead for me and Mike? Please, is there a commitment coming, like engagement or marriage for us? I do feel like both of you within the relationship are on good terms. I feel like there has been a mixture of ease and also like some travel and adventure together. If you can understand this, you've been like living life, enjoying life. Even if it's like local travel, that's travel to me, unless I like distinguish it. But I feel like you get out of the house, and there's active fulfillment within the relationship. And I talk about the energy of the relationship, before I get into some other things, because that helps me to know I'm in your energy. So, and if you can understand these things, please let me know yes, or please let me know no. And I feel like, because I feel you're an active person, okay? So if you can understand that also being within the relationship. I feel like there is an ease. Okay. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that, because I was wondering that too as well, but I was not crystal clear at all. And no, I want to travel. He's been asking too much, not sure if he will do it. Okay. So you can understand. So I'm going to highlight that you have, like I said prior, I'm just making sure I'm in your energy. You have interest in traveling because you're an active person, because I felt like that was going on. Like, I like to be out and about. I like to just be a really active person, and I'm open to life's adventure. Okay. Um, all right. Well, the reason why I was kind of not sure prior, because I felt that within you, but then I felt him sitting on a recliner, and it was like kind of he had no shoes. So it was like no shoes on a recliner. And I feel like there isn't like an urgency. There isn't an urgency. And I feel that within I want us to do together, just more outings and holidays. I feel like there's a lack of urgency, okay? And that's how I felt prior, even when I wasn't clear with like how you two travel or go about things. I felt like there was like no need, no need. Just enjoying things as they are, just enjoying things as they are. And I feel like, yes, that is a problem for you because you want otherwise. I'm aware of that. And so that makes sense. Um, but I feel like he's kind of just enjoying things and going on a pace that's comfortable to him. And so it's about him getting out of his comfort zone and seeing what that brings up within him. Because we're made to grow. We're made to grow. And you obviously want growth within this relationship. You obviously want marriage. You want an engagement. And I just feel like there isn't a rush for that. There isn't a rush for that. And it's basically like I get the energy like all in good time, all in good time. And I feel like that, unfortunately, uh that might be the mantra, all in good time, all in good time, and a lot of these things might not be happening with in a similar pace. I do feel like he's been thinking of getting a ring, though. I do feel like that's been something on his mind, so he does take the relationship seriously. He really does, but there is like kind of a lack of energy on his part. I feel like, sometimes it comes from the relationship, sometimes it comes from like the individual personally, why there's the lack of energy. And it just feels like, can you understand how there's retirement connected to either you or himself? If you can, let me know that. I feel like there's been a pause at work or retirement, and that's increased his lackluster at times, or leisurely or lax kind of approach. So if you can understand that, and there's either a pause at work or retirement that came in, because it makes me feel like that, like there's coasting going on. Um, I do feel like, and again, and if you can let me know that, I do feel like, I don't know. I see him in a Hawaiian shirt. I see him in a Hawaiian shirt. No, both of us busy working. He had a pause. So he had a pause, just back being busy. Okay. Well, I understand his pause. And I understand that, there is, okay. Well, that's the number one feeling. I'm, you know, I'm very honest if I have trouble kind of connecting and being in. But I feel like the number one energy stream that I'm getting is like, I need a pause, I need a break. And since I need a pause, need a break, I don't find myself able to concentrate sometimes on the other areas that I need to be expanding on. Okay. So that is going to complicate your timeline and urgency of things. And that comes in, that's the consistency part. Um, Work is a big priority now, and he makes and wants to make money to build. Sure, that's understandable. I do think that there needs to be some clear understanding between you two, though, about what the future holds. And it's not just future talk. It becomes, this is a plan, and by this date, like, 2 years from now, I see ourselves like this. And there's steps that showcase that. Okay. And I feel like there's energy going to other departments, where it's more so on how he wants to secure the future, and I feel like it's not how you two want to secure the future. So I do think that marriage has been talked about. I do feel like it is something that he considers, but I do feel like a lot of this kind of echoes where he will put his needs first at times. So I think it's important for you to advocate yours and to understand what that timeline looks like. What that timeline looks like. So, my number one question is, what has been the holdup with some of these communications in the past? Okay. Because I feel like you're almost, you're afraid to rock the boat. You're afraid to rock the boat because if you rock the boat too much, then there's like kind of agitation, and there's like a feeling of lack of gratitude. Um, and I feel like, again, there's a feeling of lack of gratitude if you bring things up. Okay. If you can understand that. Um, Yes, I understand that he's working on things and he eventually wants to settle down, but this is about him wanting to settle down with you, making space, making space. And yes, I can understand that financial issues have been a problem within the past, but and again, this is not let's go get married tomorrow. This is about having a conversation and understanding where you're at with each other. Not, I plan to do this, I plan to do that. Okay. Um, with the business, with my job, there needs to be more conversations. It doesn't mean it has to happen tomorrow, but it needs to be a conversation of, these are the goals that we are working towards, just like you're making goals towards your financial stability, and I'm making goals in other ways too. I just feel like there's going to be like more waiting, and I don't know, maybe you're fine, maybe if you get fine, you're fine if you get married in 3 years, maybe that's okay. But if you want to get, some answers sooner, because you're asking me for answers, you have to go to him and you have to say, hey, I want some, plans and steps towards that. So that's what I'm going to reiterate. Yeah. So I saw the ring. It's something he thinks about, but I feel like, the urgency is not there, and he's a little bit overwhelmed. And so you have to help figure out how you can work together so you individually and collectively don't feel overwhelmed. Okay. So you're looking for resolution in this department. So I would say work together, see what you can do, see how you can both support each other so your needs are getting met. And like, that's the intention. That's the intention. He sees you in that capacity. And if you want it sooner, you have to talk to him and you have to make a plan. And it's not just based on, well, I'm waiting for him. Okay? You're a large part of this too. So I would say be more proactive, be more communicative, and ask him how you can support him. If he really is excited to have that goal sooner, then he'll be like, wow, like yeah, actually you can do this to speed up the timeline. Wow, that would help. And see what comes from that. Will it happen eventually? I feel like that's the intention. I feel like that's the intention. So when people ask, will it happen? What happens is I go up into the person's thoughts. I go up into your thoughts and I go, how badly do you want this? Or what are you doing to make this happen? Okay. Now I can feel that. And there's some things that I will see where it's like, boom, here you go. But I'm also aware of if someone takes their time, things change. Things change. Okay. So I would say if you want something, go get it. And again, it doesn't have to happen tomorrow, but make the plans to get it because it's going to be a long time if we don't have a plan. And I'm just going to keep saying that. All right. So thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to go to where are you? Elliot, thank you for your patience. I'm going to go to Elliot. And Elliot, if you want to pop down your birthday or just ask your question, however, you're welcome, Anne. I'm going to pull some cards for you, Elliot, whether you can watch this back later, but you're next. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you, Elliot. Perfect. Okay. So, all right. So I feel like there's been a level of uncertainty. So I'm feeling like, hey, I'm like kind of perusing and going over things that have happened recently. And there's a level of uncertainty. And like a card popped out for you. And it was trusting what you have been heard, shown, and gifted. So it's just like making sure that you're following through with what your gut is on the issue. And making sure you're not doing, the acts over what you've thought through again and again and again because it sits well in here, and that seems to be like the most logical and best solution. It's no, what's the impression and what sits in your heart regarding it. Okay. Because I feel like you are someone who's very careful and sorts through things. Okay. So it's like an encouragement and saying, hey, you actually knew this. And so you're going to have to kind of put yourself in a vulnerable situation and go, this is what feels right versus I'm going to do all these things to safeguard myself. Okay, so that comes up. And then I'm going to go to your birthday. So you give me October 3rd. So you're an attitude 4. Oh, that makes sense why you're so particular. And then you are personal day 3. And you are in a cycle of 3-2 as well. Okay, cool. So you have an attitude 4, and when someone has an attitude 4, they are very organized. And that is a sign that they are in a healthy and good place. Like you're more organized than the average bear. Okay. So you like things to have structure. You like to be on time. You like others to be on time. And you're one to be a planner too as well. Okay. You enjoy like going through things. And that's always something that will bode well for you. You don't always have to be spontaneous, quick decisions. You should stick to your strengths of you're a planner, you think things through, but you do have to listen to your heart, okay? And I do think that's been something that you've been cultivating and working through because I'm seeing like whether it's yoga or breathing practice, but I feel like I've been touching my heart and I've been in touch with my breath, and I'm just like, I have to be more in touch with my body and more in touch with a deeper rhythm. And I feel like that's been something you've been cultivating. And you've been doing that like with listening to music, and for some reason I like hear a flute or something. Maybe that's just a cue for like spiritual music. I don't know. But like going deeper, and allowing yourself to be afraid when it feels okay, but still scary. That's the theme I keep getting for you, okay? You're in a cycle of 6 as well. And like I said prior, because there's crossover messages for people. So 6, this is like an archetypal message for the year for you that will like transcend and permeate for the whole entire year. Cycle 6 is reevaluating those closest to you and saying, how do we work and how do we not work? And what am I willing to do to fix that? Or is someone willing to do to fix that within me? And where do I have to let people go? Okay. And where do I have to make new connections? It's basically saying, emotionally, I have to be more in touch with my needs. And that's going within. That's going within to understanding who I am and what I require. And to understand that there has been more emotional intensity because your body is trying to speak with you. So, and I feel like you've been doing some of the things to go within, but it's just like connect the emotions to the body. I feel like you've been more attuned to body rhythms, but connect the emotions to the body rhythms. Okay. There's wisdom in emotions as important as logic. We have to navigate it differently though to crystallize its truth, because it is truth. And then I'm going to go into you have a personal day 3, so I feel like you attract people quite easily. Like people feel very comfortable in your presence. They feel like they can come up to you. When someone has personal day 3, like it's a very natural number for someone to approach you in a grocery store, or to feel at ease around you at first impression. So you don't have a problem connecting with people. It's just a matter of making sure that your needs are spoken. Your needs are spoken, and understanding if you have like tension or openness to a person, and to continue to navigate that, not based on because that person's bad or good, or I've had a good or bad reaction, but navigating that of, oh, I feel blocked energy. What does that mean for me? What does that mean for them? I feel open energy. What does that mean for me? What does that mean for them? So less of the positive and negative or the black and white. It's just more of, I would say, different terminology where, okay, this feels open. This feels a little bit complicated. This feels very easy. This feels very restrictive. Okay. And you can have conversations about that with people. And it will teach you about their needs and your needs rather than I close the door on this or I'm really open here. Okay. So that's what the number one thing is coming up within the reading, to look at things in a different way that keeps your emotions still in the equation, whether it seems negative or positive or open or restrictive. If you look at things not from the black and white perspective, you can go, oh, I'm still here. Now what am I feeling? Okay. Rather than it's not good. Okay. I shut down. Or, okay, I'm open. I'm 100 miles per hour. It's, I feel this now and I feel that now. And wow, okay, I got another piece of information, another piece of information, another piece of information. So you love connecting with people, but I do feel like there's a need to emotionally connect in a different way, whether it's in your friend circles or emotionally connect. And I feel like they're like dating, romantic, that's really, really, really important. Opening up that channel. And forgive me, I'm not connecting to if you're married or not, or if you're, but I feel like there's a need for that. Like I need to really advocate what my needs are and have more intimacy with my life and to create a safe space. Okay. So if you can understand all that, Elliot, that is what I'm getting. And thank you so much. Okay. So Elliot, yes, it's just within dating, these things, everything I'm saying is going to directly correlate and is going to allow you to connect to somebody regardless of if they're giving you funky energy. Okay? All right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Jessie Cat, that's very sweet. Thank you for your comment. If you're curious about that, just message me. Just message me. That's really sweet. Thank you so much, Jessie Cat. Thank you. I'm sending you so much love with that. Yeah, just reach out, Jessie Cat, if you're curious about that. I'm gonna go to Charmaine Torrington. And hello, really quick. Hello, Mandy Louise. I'm just seeing some people around here coming on in. Hello, Allison. I'm going to go back to you, Charmaine, in a second. I'm just going to say hi to people for a second. Hello, Allison. Hello, Stacia. Hello, Iris. Hello, beautiful back. Hello, Diane. Hello, Krista. Oh, excuse me, Lisa Christia. Hello. All right. So I'm going to go Charmaine. Let me see. Oh, you gave me a birthday. Thank you so much. Charmaine, if you're in the house, you can let me know. Cool. All right. So if you have a question, you can pop it down too as well. Right. So you are an attitude 5. You are personal day 8. And you are a life path 6. That is correct. And so you are in a cycle of 7. Okay. So Charmaine, this is a year, so you're in a cycle of 7. This is a year where allowing yourself to have a quieter year. Okay, you're here. Cool. You want to now work in relationships. Awesome. Okay, that'll dive into that. So this is a quieter year that requires you to have more alone time. And always when you're in a cycle of 7, it's almost like plans get canceled. Okay? Or you have to cancel plans because it's like you don't want the busyness of life. On a level, subconsciously, you definitely don't want the busyness of life because it's like there's a calling to go within. There's a calling to be more in your own energy because you need for things to be quiet to hear the whisperings of the universe or the whisperings of God or your own soul or your higher self. Okay. And it's always a time to go, why am I really here? Why am I really here? So there's like soul searching with job or like a deeper vocation within a hobby of how you can truly utilize your energy of service and happiness. And they have to really go hand in hand. So you're looking at work and relationships. And so let me look at, there's so many numbers I pull on the show that I don't pull on the show because we're going so quick, but there's a lot to pull from. So I usually go just a bit of the surface, but let me pull another number really quick. So, okay, so, all right, hold on. I'm almost done with that. Cool. Okay. All right, cool. So I will say, if you wanted a job change, it's a really good time around June and July, whether it's within the company. I do feel like I'm in a vein of doing something similar. Okay. I just need a change. And I can break up things within my life in different capacities too as well. So a work change is needed, I do feel, and it could be actually minimal to create satisfaction. And you can continue to expand from there if you want, sure. But I feel like there's a tweak. But I feel like in relationship, there's a major tweak that has to happen for you to be happy. Okay. So I just feel like the day-to-day is really not supportive. Like having the proper support system around you for you to feel good and happy and really kind of like welcoming and open to life. there seems to be like I wish I could have something different, and this is really getting to me right now. Okay, cool. You understand the months with the work change. Thank you. And you understand the personal with the relationship too as well. Thank you for understanding that. And I do feel like the new change at work that you're going to cultivate is going to help kick up energy, but it's kind of almost like, and then, all right, I did this and now what? And I'm encouraging a lot of people. And again, everyone needs something different, sure, sure. But I do encourage a lot of people to be proactive within their change, okay? And so within the relationship sphere, I do understand a little bit more proactive energy needs to be enacted. I want to take you out and put you into a different environment. So it's like break up the same old, because it feels like really dense and heavy right now. And so I don't know if you're processing something from the past and it just feels overwhelming, or if you feel like, you're not motivated because of the same old and it's just not cutting it. But I need something fresh. And I need that, like, knowing of, things can change. Things can change. Let me try something that I've never done before. And it's almost like I will get a rush and at ease. I'm just like, okay, I tried that at least. And it feels like you're living. It feels like you're living a little bit, but like on the seat of your pants, and you go, well, this was positive for me. It has to be positive. It has to feel right. And woof, I did that. Holy cow, I did that. And so I'm encouraging more of those experiences for you, because I do feel it is a little heavy. It is a little heavy, and we're all human. It's okay if it's heavy. That's how we're processing it right now. But I do feel like definitely reach out to the girls. Definitely reach out to your loved ones, and ask for a little bit of support too. Okay, it's again kind of going like, hey, I don't have to tell them everything that's going on, but for the ones that I love, and I feel like they've got the capacity to understand this to a certain degree, it's important to share. It's important to share where you're at least a little bit on your day to day, and share a couple of these emotions where you're like, oh, this is a lot right now. This is a lot right now. The girls are a great support. I feel like not everything's being shared with the girls, though. Can you understand that, Charmaine? I feel like, and I talked about how you don't have to share everything, but I feel like, since we're here, like, I feel like there's a couple things where, like, your heart is hurting, and you're sharing enough to have a good time, but there's like things that need to come out still, and you need to have a safe space and support to do that. And I feel like, since I hold on to some things, I still return to my home later on, and I feel like I still don't feel great. I still don't feel great. And this is regarding relationship and support, and how you feel at the end of the night, and how you feel from day to day at times. So there is a release needed. And I really, really encourage you to be brave. And whether or not you choose to share more with your girls, your support system, or you decide to go into a deeper form of healing where someone holds space for you, the things of the past need to come out, and the feelings of the present need to come out. Energy has to be moved. Okay. And so that's what's coming up very strongly. And hopefully you understand, Charmaine. And I encourage you to put one foot in healing. And I feel like this month is really kicking up some of these reminders. Again, it's not just because it's me talking about it with you. I feel like it's been a more emotional month. We're like halfway into the month, but I feel like it's been more emotional. And so it's just like, ugh. And if we need help, we can always get it. Just put yourself out there. Continue to put yourself out there. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I think I have to sneeze for a second. No, excuse me. Sometimes they say you sneeze on the truth, and hopefully that's the case. All right. It's my sinuses. My sinuses want to go crazy today. All right. All right. Let me go to, let's see. I'm going to take another. Stacia. Okay. And thank you, Stacia. Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you. And thank you, Stacia. Stacia, let me go to your birth date again. Where? I just found it. Just found it. Absolutely. I just found where I needed to go and now I can't find it. That happens. Well, if you want to type that, if you want to type that down again, you could do me a solid. Absolutely. I don't know why I can't find it. It's almost like, where are you? All right. I'm going to pull some cards, Stacia. If you want to pop down your birth date for me, thank you. You're an angel. I appreciate you so much. Okay. Attitude 7, personal day 1, life path 9, I believe, if that's right. Let me just double check. 1 and 1. Yeah. Okay. Life path 9, and then you're in a cycle of 6 too as well. Okay. So attitude 7, and I'm gonna pull some cards because I was inspired to. So Stacia, like, you are smart as a whip. You can definitely handle multiple things at once. It's like you have a mind that is just like and you're decent at multitasking because of that. You really are. With the life path 9, so 9 usually indicates like survivor energy. It always does. So you have the capacity to overcome a lot. And if you don't know what you're doing, you kind of just wing it and it goes well. Because you go, I'm gonna figure it out on the fly. I'm gonna figure it out on the fly and we'll get it done. And it always gets done. So it's just the reminder of you have what you need. You have what you need. Your personal day 1. And so our personal day number is an external part of ourselves, of the way that people respond to us. And you have leadership energy. All right. Not everyone knows that others respond to them in a certain way, but with your 19, you have 1 energy. That means that if you speak, people will listen. If you speak, people will listen. If you are responsible for something, people actually, if you're responsible for something within a group of people, people actually look to you to do it or to have an answer. It's almost like people, whether or not they know you, they understand that you have what it takes to get it done, and they look to you. And it's like, with the 1 and 9s, you're very, very capable. Okay. He said, yes, been winging it for a long time. Yes. So it's about grounding that energy to know that you have what you need always. And because of that, you can teach others to have what they need always too, even if you're finding that along the way spontaneously. I really do think that if you want, you could start like a circle or a group of women coming together. We could just try things and sample experiences. Like, you don't have to have everything figured out in order to teach, in order to guide, in order to lead. Okay. And your attitude 7 would make you feel like, I have to be an expert. I have to be an expert. I really have to know this to really give this to another person. And you can really have a group to explore together. And I feel like that would be honestly very fun. And, it doesn't even have to be an in-person group. It's just, it could even be online. But I encourage you to, if you want, create a space where you help other people gather to explore the things that you would want to explore. And I think people would actually be really, really open to your perspective. Thank you for understanding that. There is also a need for it's either like gardening or being around plants, because I keep seeing like this cactus plant. I keep seeing this potted plant for sure, and it's almost like tending to the plants. It's good for me. It calms me down. Um, and I feel like even adding that within the backyard or along the perimeter of the house would jazz things up and create like more serenity and more peace. So it feels like the plants are something that ground and heal. Okay, you're a big gardener. Thank you for understanding that. And it's an acknowledgement because the potted plant came right after the acknowledgement of you can actually form and like lead other people to come together. And I feel like it would create a similar sense of peace of what it gives to you gardening or being around the plants and bringing more beauty and cultivating. Like, so you're cultivating life within plants. I feel like you could actually cultivate life within people. It feels really good, honestly. And it feels like you have the energy, the stamina, and the interest for it. And not everyone does, honestly. And, people wouldn't want to do things or they get burnt out. So I'm just like commenting that you have all this stamina and reserve to do something bigger than yourself. You don't have to do this tomorrow, but you can start dreaming about what would I like to do? What would I like to do? And I'm just going to go for it when I know what it is, rather than I think I need to get 50 things in place for it. So really dream, really journal, really connect to spirit, because they say that you have time and energy that can become something bigger. All right. Thank you for understanding that, Stacia. Sometimes when we do have open energy, spirit calls us to try new things. Not that we have to stay doing those always. They call us to try new things for a little bit because they say, hey, you can grow. You have space to grow. And we will help you grow, and you can help other people heal while you're growing, because you've reached a certain point within your life where you can show enough compassion, understanding, and gentleness to guide others. Okay. So I'm going to take one more. I think there was a question or something up top. Let me just make sure. Got it. That's charming. Maybe we got crossover messages too. You're like, gosh, it sounds like me too. We get crossover messages. It's really fascinating. Okay, so Diane. All right, and then he said, first time here. Hello, Lita. It's great to see you. Thank you for coming on by. We love first time people. Hello, and thank you, Stacia. Thank you so much. All right, so Diane. All right. So Diane, you are an attitude 8, so you are a natural perfectionist, and it's always making sure of you're not being too critical on yourself, because 8s are very detailed people. They're very visual people, and they understand how things can be done well. They always understand that innately. You are a personal day 7, so having the personal day energy, sometimes people don't always approach you. Okay, 7 is a more introspective number. So I always tell people, if you want somebody to approach you, or if you want to connect to somebody, sometimes you're going to have to go and make the first move, because sometimes people feel off of you that you're busy, you're deep within thought, you're contemplative. So with friends and family at times, sometimes you go, why aren't they coming up to me? And really, because you have an energy in a way where they feel like you're somewhere else, and you need to be respected at times because of that. Somewhere else within your mind. Let's see. You are a life path 5. So this is an acknowledgement throughout your life that you've sometimes have been bored and changed careers. Okay. You've been bored and you've hopped to different fields in order to okay, you can understand this, thank you very much, to stimulate yourself, because you're like, it's time for something new, I need something new, I'm the energy down, I feel drab, like, let's do this. So it's always a highlight of As a 5, it's the number of variety. So we need like multiple things within our life to define ourselves from multiple different perspectives, from different cultures, from different people, from different skills, in order to go, okay, this is what I want to do with my life, and this is how life is important to me. So know that you needed that. You weren't supposed to ascend up a corporate ladder. You needed the variety in order to be exactly you, in the way that you go, wow, I understand life like this. Okay. You are in a personal cycle of 7 right now. Yep, that's right. You are in a person. Yep. Let me just, yep. You're in a 7 right now. Yep. And that is inviting you to take the time to really be easy with yourself this year and to figure out more so what you want. Okay, 7 always is a gift from the universe to say, who are you really and why? And we have to make sure that we take you away from your normal patterns so you have the space to answer those questions, because life comes at you really fast normally. So 7 is always a year where things are less busy, and be okay with that. Like, be like, great, it's a self-care year. Great, a little more time for vacation. You have to make sure that's a quiet vacation or plans will cancel themselves. You have to make sure you have that space for, I can finally kind of ease in. Let's see what comes up. All right. Let's see. Okay, so you can understand that. I'm going to pull a card for you to like bring it all together. Okay. So I feel like things have been going pretty well though, like this year. I feel like the self-care has already been enacted, and so it's just to further it forward. I feel why that is the case, because I got the Feeling Strong card, and this is always about renewed sense of confidence, attentiveness, and following through on the things that you need to, so you feel more powerful, strong, and sturdy in your body. And that is always self-care. So you have actually already been doing the self-care. They're just wanting you to actually increase the spiritual, the mental, and emotional self-care to make it an even more transformative experience. All right. So hopefully that makes sense with you, Diane. Thank you everybody for being with me here today and for always being patient. Certain days I am very tired and other days I have energy. And as I'm creating all these new things, I'm learning how to balance my energy once more. When we take on a new load, sometimes our energy goes woof. So today I'm quite tired, so thank you for being so gentle and understanding. When we get tired, sometimes the details are not as crisp, at least with how my brain goes. So everybody, it's been a pleasure. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Diane, and I'm glad you appreciate. Thank you, Iris. Thank you, Stacia. Absolutely. Please, if you have a question that you want to be addressed on a further episode, because I love talking about energy. It wouldn't be a reading. If you want a reading, you come in live. But if you have an energy question that you want to make sure that is talked about, whether it's dreams, whether it's like clairvoyance or feeling spirit, or even getting a premonition. I love to talk about people's experiences and really demystify and also normalize what everybody goes through so we can talk about it more and understand this is just all a part of who we are. We just have different parts stimulated because we all have different energy sensitivities a little bit more than one another, and we all have our own superpowers. With that said, everybody, Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, I will be on for Friday. I think I'm going to do the numerology hour and mix it up for Friday. So I'm definitely going to be on. I'll see in what capacity. But you will see me then for the psychic hour at 1 p.m. And until then, please go with love, light, luck, and don't forget to live, everybody. Take care. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you, Stacia. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Iris and Jennifer. Thank you.